Her hand stayed on his arm for just a second too long. That was the moment I knew. Standing in the corner of the company Christmas party, I watched my wife of 8 years look at her boss like he was the last lifeboat on a sinking ship. I didn't make a scene. I didn't shout. I just stood there, watching the unraveling of my marriage like a spectator at my own funeral. Betrayal doesn't hit you like a lightning strike. It creeps in, quiet and poisonous, until suddenly you're drowning in the truth. One of Jennifer's coworkers glanced at me and muttered, "They're not very subtle, are they?" The whole office has been buzzing for months. While I worked overtime on construction sites to save for our anniversary trip, my wife was busy entertaining her CEO. I walked out of that party without another word. The cold December wind slapped me awake as I sent her a text, not feeling well, heading home. Her reply was instant, overly concerned, and felt completely rehearsed. She didn't come home until 3 a.m., smelling of an expensive cologne I didn't own. Lying in bed next to the stranger she'd become, rage clawed at my throat. But something colder took its place. Knowledge is power, and she had no idea what I knew. The next morning, I played the perfect husband, kissing her goodbye like nothing had changed. Then I took my first sick day in 3 years and started digging. Her laptop, her search history, her secret visit to a divorce attorney, all of it confirmed she was already planning her escape. The next step was her phone. While she showered, I used facial recognition through the fogged-up glass door. Hundreds of messages. Last night was incredible. When can I see you again? Aspen next weekend, just us. I took screenshots of everything. It was like performing a digital autopsy on my own marriage. But still, I didn't confront her. Not yet. Days later, her coworker Amber contacted me. She handed me a USB drive full of HR complaints and NDA's proof that Robert had a pattern of seducing women with promises of promotions, only to discard them later. Jennifer wasn't his first, and she wouldn't be his last. I hired a private investigator. 4 days later, I had photos and audio recordings of Jennifer and Robert slipping into hotels, plotting her exit from our marriage and planning a VP promotion for her right after she left me. They weren't just having an affair. They were building a future on my ruin, but I didn't rage, I strategized. I legally moved half of our savings into a new account. I arranged a private sale of our house. I redirected my mail and packed all my belongings into a storage unit. Piece by piece, I was silently dismantling the life we had built together. Then Robert made a mistake. He showed up at my job site in a tailored suit and tried to buy me off. "$50,000, he said. "Walk away quietly." I told him exactly where he could shove it and let him leave the envelope behind more evidence. That night, Robert's wife, Patricia, showed up at our house. She was elegant, composed, and cold as ice. "I want a divorce," she said, "and I need evidence. I intend to end this public embarrassment." She then revealed something that made the floor drop out from under Jennifer. Robert had involved her in illegal stock manipulation, opening accounts in her name. As Patricia listed each account number, Jennifer's face crumbled. After Patricia left, Jennifer whispered, "What are you going to do?" I finally told her the truth. "I already have." I explained everything: the storage unit, the sold house, the bank accounts, the lawyer, the photos, the recordings. "You've been planning this the whole time?" She whispered, horrified. "You plan to leave me," I said. "I simply planned better." The night before her Aspen getaway, I invited her to dinner. She looked beautiful, almost tragic, in a red dress. Halfway through the meal, I said, "Enjoy Colorado." Her face went pale. Then I laid the evidence on the table. The photos, the texts, the plans she made with Robert. "Sign the divorce papers," I said. "They're fair." "More than you deserve," she cried, claiming she never meant to hurt me. But I knew the truth. "You ended our marriage the moment you chose him," she signed. The next morning, I had one final task. I went to Robert's office. He tried to posture and intimidate me. I just placed a USB on his desk. "All your messages, all the evidence. If you ever mistreat Jennifer the way you've mistreated every woman before her, I press send and your career evaporates." He couldn't believe it. "You'd protect her after what she did?" he asked. "This is the last promise I keep," I said. Freedom tasted better than revenge. I sold what was left, flew to San Diego, and started over. On a beach walk, I met Sarah, a kindergarten teacher with a goofy golden retriever and a laugh that felt like sunshine. She didn't want anything from me, she just listened. My new construction company thrived. Sarah and I built a life that was simple, peaceful, and real. 2 years after that disastrous Christmas party, I stood on that same San Diego beach and asked Sarah to marry me. She said yes. As we stood there, I realized something profound. Betrayal didn't break me, it freed me. Sometimes the worst endings lead to the best beginnings. You just have to be brave enough to walk away and never look back. Thanks for listening.